Okay, I believe we have 2 more cases that are updates. Our 6th case and one of our updates on a past case for you guys is, so last time I uploaded, I believe that was the first time we talked about this beautiful little boy here, who is presumed unalived at this point. He is 6 years old. He looks tiny in this picture. I'm not sure when the picture was taken. His mom has lots of kids and with different men, and that's okay. We're not making any judgment, but she had gotten, I think at first though, the children that were living with her, which were 4 other children besides Noel, they were all older than Noel, and they were all typical children. It's not clear who, Noel's father was a Mexican national who was deported. We know this because she said he was with his father, a la like a Lori Vallow excuse, and they found out no, he wasn't with her. She had a new husband, again, sounding familiar, Arship Singh, who was a Indian national immigrant here in Texas, and it's very much of, I don't like stereotypes. He was an Indian here working in a convenience store. And the new news in this case was that we all wondered, how could they afford to fly out of the country? They didn't seem rich. She was this woman who had this history of like even drunk driving with her kids in the car and having accidents. And she had been homeless. And the guy whose house they lived behind in like a little house made out of a shed, that guy had taken her in 10 years ago. So before she had some of these kids and before Noel was born, and let them live, he was like a lonely old man and let them live in his house, the extra 2 bedrooms, because he felt sorry for her. And so she just continued living there until she met this Arship and got pregnant. She had twins. Well, so what we know now, because we knew that the whole family took off quickly to India via Turkish Airlines after the Texas Department of Family Service had come to check on Noel's a wellness check from a relative. They hadn't seen him for a while, and that check was made March 21st. So here's what we learned since that time. So the update was that they locked down the timeline after further investigation. So now they believe that Noel disappeared 1 week after the twins were born. That was in the last week of October in 2022. And previously to this, we had found like she didn't like to feed him or give him water because she didn't want to change his diapers. Basically now she has new babies. She didn't want to do that. Like she was big and pregnant with twins. Like she knew basically that she was going to be finished here. On November 1st, the mother began obtaining passports for every family member except Noel, who we assume was unalived in October. Again, after that, we know that the family Department of Family Services in Texas, they're from Everman, Texas, they were alerted that Noel was missing and hadn't been seen since October, and they were making a visual check on him, and they visited his family on March 21st. That's when his mom said, well, actually, like I've had these twins, and he went to live with his father who is in Mexico. Go figure that one out, right? That'll take some time, which it did. So they accepted that. Oh, that's where the kid is. They went to tell the family that. Well, in between that time, Arshdeep then that night, after they visited, used a credit card and purchased the tickets on Turkish Airlines to Turkey and then on to India. Then the next day on March 22nd, he went to work. He worked for a convenience store company, and he was in a position where he dealt with finances and deposits. He fraudulently put in the wrong amount on the deposit slip of what was made. Then he took $10,000 in cash. Then he went to the bank. He deposited $8,000 of that $10,000 stolen into his personal account kept 2,000 probably for travel expenses, and that night, I believe, or that early that morning, they were gone on an airplane. Then on March 23rd was when the family member said, no, you need to, that's not true, whatever. They started looking into it further. The family was disappeared. They checked in Mexico. By March 25th, then they alerted that the family van was gone, so they put a Amber Alert out for the van and for Noel. They found the van. I don't know if it was parked at the airport, but anyways, Noel was not in it. Again, assumed unalived. So they left the family left that night before the authorities even knew they had skipped town. They were internationally gone. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just reading a note down here. Oh, just the whole, the man in Mexico said, basically, I never met Noel in person. Like, she had just, what a lie. A big whopper. So, yeah, so the new information is that now we know about the money. So that's Arshdeep depositing the stolen money. That's how they are going to live, I guess, in India. And, yeah. They didn't take Noel, and no one's seen him. So, unfortunately, we assume the worst.